going to burn that rainbow flag.
Yes.
That flag is not allowed anywhere near me. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is the rebranding of communism.
You're vocal. You don't really care like what people think.
They didn't care when they were coming for the children.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have no mercy for them either. And unfortunately for white guys, the ones that actually build our society, they're the ones that pay the price. That's exactly what a corrupt politician does. Same as Joe Biden. He sold our country out. Right now, we're being invaded. And you guys should get some guns and some ARs. And there's going to come a time where there's going to be terror attacks. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
If it needs to come to this in America, civil war is an option.
So we are living in the modern day Holocaust. And that means that Americans can either fight back or continue to follow orders because our republic is being taken away.
What are your pronouns?
No pronouns. USA.
Welcome back to the MBH podcast, Money Buys Happiness. Guys, if you're tuning in, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, like this video, leave a comment. I know you guys love to kind of comment as the video goes on. So do that. Any questions for the guest, feel free to drop them in the comments. We will get to them 100%.
Our listeners.
I always forget them. I always forget them.
People are listening.
I know. I got to say that too.
5 stars on Apple, 5 stars on Spotify, please and thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Today we got a political candidate with us.
Yes.
Valentina Gomez.
Hello, guys.
Thanks
Thank you for
coming.
having me.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Welcome to Miami.
Yes.
I like Missouri more.
Oh, we're going to get into that. No, we're going to get into that.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll get into that.
Sorry, I don't apologize, actually.
You've been killing it. Super impressive background. So we're going to get into your story. For anyone that's listening that might not know who you are, give us a little introduction as to who you are and what you're doing.
Of course. I'm Valentina Gomez. I'm 24 years old. I'm running for office in the state of Missouri, specifically Secretary of State. And primaries are in August. I'm going against a few rhinos, corrupt rhinos, let me highlight that. And I'm a businesswoman, former Division I swimmer, and I'm here to make America great again with President Donald Trump.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
So I'm going to start with, how did you get into politics? We'll start there. Why and why?
Okay. Before I even answer that question, I want to take a moment to highlight the fact that today is Holocaust Remembrance Day.
Okay.
And it is important to bring this to people's attention because the Holocaust, people were following orders when the Holocaust happened. So we're living in the modern day Holocaust. And that means that Americans can either fight back or continue to follow orders because our republic is being taken away. Yeah. So history is repeating itself.
As it usually does.
Yes, like in Canada.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Don't get us started. don't get us started on it.
So why politics?
Politics is the only way that you can actually enact change for the people.
Okay.
As long as there's no special interest involved, because that's exactly what is happening right now. All politicians are corrupt, and we're living in a dictatorship.
Yes.
So I cannot allow that to happen. If there's something I can do, I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
So it's not about just walking, just about talking. It's about walking the talk, executing. And the message has reached millions, thank God. And right now we're just continuing to work, continuing to travel, and getting the word out and waking the people up.
Yes.
So was there a certain date, time, or sort of thing that happened where you said, okay, I'm gonna jump into politics. Like I want to try and make a change.
So I was a financier and I still work in finance, but necessarily not really, because I knew that this was going to be something that I was going to get involved in the future. I didn't think that it was going to be this quickly, but it happened because I saw the need for someone who actually take over and make changes.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yeah.
So I guess you started your page. When did you start your Instagram? Because that kind of is blowing up. You're blowing up right now.
And my Instagram, my life is a testament of God.
Yeah.
And I can assure you guys of that. I started with 600, 700 followers back in November of 2023.
Yeah.
Now I'm at 26,000. I'm getting millions of engagement across X, Facebook, and Instagram. So the message resonates and people are backing me. People are waking up. People want to join the fight because what is happening is not right.
Yeah.
What is happening is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. There's no other word to call it. We cannot have mercy for corruption. We cannot have mercy for people that are trying to destroy our country. That's not going to work with me.
Yeah. And how has the reaction been? Because you're 24 years old. You're also a woman in politics too. So how has that been for you, kind of getting through those obstacles?
I don't care about the obstacles. I don't look at them. I just keep going. I know the mission. I know what I have to accomplish, and I get it done. There's going to be haters. There's going to be people that are going to try to bring me down, and that's exactly what is happening. But I don't care. They're not having the traction that I'm obtaining. They can have their special interest and donors fund them. I don't need them to fund me. I only need the people. I need the votes.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. You can see I'm at my MEC file. I've only fundraised about less than $2,000 because I've rejected millions. Millions have been offered to me, and I've said no. Why? Because I'm not for sale. Everyone else is for sale and have already sold their lives.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
So usually when someone comes and gives you funding, there's a price to pay.
Of course, you're a puppet. You're a control puppet, just like the guys running against me right now. All of those 4 rhinos, control puppets. They're, excuse my language, pieces of shit.
Yeah. And so in terms of being corrupt, let's say someone's listening or watching right now that's not really in tune with politics and how it works. What do you mean when you say they're corrupt?
When I say they're corrupt, is that they say one thing to your face, say, yes, we're going to help businesses. And then they drag it along. And they're saying that, for example, they're going to cut taxes. They actually increase taxes because they just want to say that to get in power. That's exactly what a corrupt politician does. Same as Joe Biden. Look at him. He sold our country out. Right now, we're being invaded. The worst of the worst is coming to America. And you guys should get some guns and some ARs.
That's
Like that one.
That's my kind of style.
I'm curious. Like you say, you've never taken funding, and which is great. I mean, I think that's a big reason why people loved Trump, because he kind of didn't really need anyone's money. He already kind of had the money to run his own campaigns. Do you find that being an obstacle for you, or do you think it'll be in the future? Because it's obviously, to run a campaign, it's expensive. To run it a certain way, it's expensive. But how do you plan to kind of, find your way around that and not really taking money?
The great thing is that God is with me, my brother is with me, and great people have reached out to join this mission, and they're supporting me. So that's news to come in the next few weeks, because we have no mercy for corruption. Businesses are joining me. Millionaires are joining me. And it's not public yet, but we're going to take Missouri back. People believe in me. I believe in me. God believes in me. So if God is for me, nothing can be against me.
And even in Missouri, because we're not too aware of what's happening there, how's it been? Like, what are the problems there that you want to fix?
Oh, well, first of all of those corrupt politicians, sons of bitches, they're fighting for parking spots right now. That's what they're doing in the Senate. They're wasting taxpayer money to fight for a parking spot instead of actually doing some work. And those same guys are running for the office that I'm running for. So I'm going to have no mercy for them. They're pieces of shit, and they don't deserve to be where they are today.
Yeah.
Fighting for parking spots. You got to walk us through that. That's crazy. That sounds crazy.
Well, it's as simple as it sounds. They fire each other out of their spots, of their committees, and they take each other's parking spots. Why? Because they have special interests. They're building out the face for them to get the next funding from that special interest. And it shows when they report the funding.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So it's a bunch of nothing. It's a bunch
corrupt.
of nothing going on, essentially.
Old men that are just want to remain comfortable and that are willing to do whatever it takes to continue that money to come in.
And in terms of like you're going for senator, obviously there's a lot of things. I feel like generally, and correct me if I'm wrong, people try to kind of shoot for lower targets and sort of work their way into the system. I feel like going for senator out the bat's a pretty big...
Oh no, not senator, Secretary of State.
Sorry, secretary. Okay, it's still a very big task right away to jump into. Like, hey, I want to reach that goal. Usually, I feel like people start smaller and sort of work their way in. So, what was it for you to say, hey, I'm going to shoot big here and just go for it?
Well, I don't think it's that big of a job because you take care of elections, you take care of your businesses, and that's exactly what I've been doing. And they overcomplicate things to make people afraid of actually entering into politics.
Okay.
So,
I see what you're saying.
So that's the problem. They try to make it a huge deal, and that's not okay. That doesn't work with me. That's why I'm doing this. And I hope and I know that more people, more young people, are going to wake up and are going to start joining the politics world, because what is happening cannot be tolerated any further.
It's a good point. You make a good point. I guess, yeah, when you put it that way, it's just a job. Like, it's just a job. Like, you got to get in there and just do what you got to do. I feel like you're right. They do make it feel like it is this tough position to get into, and don't even bother trying because you kind of have no chance. Yeah, I like that. It's different. I've never heard it that way, but I can appreciate that a lot.
When you guys become U.S. citizens, you can run for mayor, you can run for senator.
I'll be
Governor?
the mayor of Miami.
Yeah, I know you will for
What's
sure.
what's the process of running? Like, what do you have to do to
So
get in
I don't
there?
know the requirements specifically for Miami. You have to be a U.S. citizen for
Okay,
sure.
but for yourself.
Well, I'm not running for mayor, but the city where I live in, you have
Yeah.
to be a resident for 5 years in St. Louis City and 7 years of U.S. citizenship.
Okay.
Then you can run.
That's it.
That's it.
Damn. And
Yeah.
running
And
for
if you want to be
second-
corrupt, you're gonna get some funding.
right away.
Yeah, they'll give it to you
Right
before
away.
you even enter the race.
Yeah. So if you were to name, let's say, the 5 major problems in the U.S. right now, what would they be to you?
First one, the invasion. Second one would be the indoctrination of children.
Yes, which we're gonna get into that.
Yes. Third one is feminism.
Talk about
Fourth,
that.
inflation. 5 would be
So you're a creator and you've decided to step into the wonderful world of OnlyFans. Listen, good luck to you. However, we know it's not always rainbows and sunshine, all right? When you step into that kind of industry, that kind of world, you want to get involved there, you got to make sure your back is covered legally. There are a lot of slimy people in the industry. Got to make sure you're checked out and all the boxes are checked correctly.
Enter OnlyFirm. These guys are the real deal when it comes to legal support for OnlyFans models. Picture this, an experienced team of individuals who know the industry like the back of their hand. We got the 3 C's, all right? Content protection, they got you covered. Contracts, they got you covered. Copyright registration, they got you covered.
And here's the kicker, okay? They're not just some cookie cutter law firm. They pretend they know what they're doing, this and that. No, they understand all the unique challenges as an OnlyFans creator. So leave the legal headaches behind, okay? With OnlyFirm on your team, get back to doing what you do best, creating content for your fans, make sure they keep coming back, and they'll take care of everything on the legal side.
So do yourself a favor, check out their Instagram page at The OnlyFans Lawyer and shoot them a DM with any questions. You'll thank me later.
And for any more information on their services, check out www.onlyfirm.com. All right, let's get back to this episode.
elections. Yeah.
Election fraud.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I'm running for office to safekeep elections. So I just kept that to the side because I'm going to fix that. I don't see that
Yes.
as a problem because when I become Secretary of State, I'm going to fix that.
Yes,
So there's bigger problems
of course.
once we actually get in office.
Yeah.
with this.
And in terms of when you say invasion, can you break that down a little bit just for our
Of course.
listeners? Yeah.
We have a government-sponsored invasion. We have an open border where millions of illegal immigrants, the worst of the worst, are coming through the border to our cities, expecting to get everything paid for. And we don't know who they are. We don't know where they are. And there's going to come a time where there's going to be terror attacks. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
And the Biden administration has allowed that. DHS, the DOJ, all of those organizations have been weaponized against us.
Yeah.
And it is all coordinated.
to play devil's advocate, like, okay, Biden administration is letting them in. Now someone would ask, okay, what's the point of letting them all in? What good does that come to the Biden administration?
Well, they're trying to buy out votes. That is
Yes.
a problem. People right now, they have woken up, right? Well, I would say the black community, the black demographic, they're becoming Republicans. And the
Yes.
black demographic used to vote blue, Democrats. Right now, the Democrats don't have the support they used to have 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is all coordinated to achieve the plan of annihilating us, of having total power.
Yeah.
So that is why we're having this problem.
I mean, we see it like what's happening with Texas right now and the governor Abbott, and he's trying to close the borders essentially, which doesn't really seem like a crazy thing. Like you really shouldn't, you shouldn't feel like a state trying to protect their border is seen as wrongdoing. And then you kind of have, I know you have Biden, he sent the National Guard there to kind of like, I guess, was it remove the barbed wire that they're setting up. And you know, again, Canadians, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But when I step back and look at that. I go, does this not make any sense? And like, as the American people, like, are you guys okay with this? Right. And so, and then I'm seeing that there's more states that are now siding with the governor of Texas and what they're doing. And do you think you'll start seeing more of that? More of these states kind of working together and saying, yeah, whatever Biden's saying, whatever the federal government's saying, like, we're not buying it. Like, we're doing what we need to do to protect our people.
So actually, a few days ago, I called out all of the Republican governors in the United States for a unified mission, which is to send the National Guard. And they listened, but 3 days later.
Okay.
So it shows that every single governor is a coward, and we have a problem. And they have shown themselves, they have exposed themselves. So I know exactly who they are. The American people know exactly who they are. So are they gonna get reelected? I hope not. I hope new people start running after they watch this video to actually make changes, because it is doable. We don't want the same ones anymore. We want new ones. The reinforcements have to come in. The reinforcements that are not compromised. That is what's happening.
Yeah.
I agree. What do you think about the governor of Florida?
DeSantis.
Yes.
Well, he did a better job than Governor Parson of Missouri.
Yeah.
So I wish he was the governor of Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did well. I think he did well, especially over the pandemic. He got a lot of praise. He didn't do too well in his presidential campaign. I don't want to say unfortunately, because I still think Trump is the best candidate for the party.
Trump, the only one.
Yeah.
The only one that can make America great again. This is Trump country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
What do you think about gun laws? Because we're from Canada, and we never even had any gun laws. You talk to people from Canada, they're scared of gun laws because they think that the more guns you have, the more crime there is, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you think about gun laws in general? And do you believe that states should have gun laws?
First of all, let's look at the cities, blue cities, liberal cities that have the most restriction in gun laws. And these are all enacted by DEI mayors. Mayor Adams of New York City, Tishaura Jones, St. Louis. Look at the crime.
Yeah.
Chicago, LA. Let's look at that, first of all. That's Exhibit A for having guns.
They have the most crime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's lawlessness involved. Law is never enforced within those cities. There's defunding the police, so that's a problem as well. They do this specifically to increase crime.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. And the Second Amendment is the only amendment that's going to guarantee the first one, freedom of speech. And everything else is going to follow through.
Yeah.
So
It's
that's
true.
all we need. Get your ARs ready.
You know what? I agree with you. We're having a conversation with a friend of ours, and we were saying, when you look at, again, the way that Texas is reacting to them sending the National Guard and whatnot, at the end of the day, if it needs to come to this in America, civil war is an option, which is not that anyone ever wants that, but that's the whole reason that the Second Amendment was placed there, so that you could protect the First and the rest of them, right? I think people don't understand that concept, and they've been sort of brainwashed by this media that just tells them more guns, more crime, when, like you say, the statistics are there. All of the major cities that are strict on guns have the highest crime rates, right? Mm-hmm. There's this thing where, and a lot of people say this in Canada, who are for guns, obviously we're not allowed to have anything there, is that so you stop law-abiding citizens from carrying and protecting themselves. The criminals are going to get the guns regardless, right? They're going to have guns.
We see that in Toronto. Yeah.
They're going to have
the
guns.
The criminals have the guns. The innocent people are fighting for their lives.
Yeah.
They're gonna have pots.
Yes.
Well, I have an AR if I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
What are you
Yes.
gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Correct.
Throw a pot? No,
Yeah.
you're gonna die right away. Your family's gonna die.
Correct. Yeah. I think people don't realize it, right? Again, Canada is completely different, but in America, I mean, you see it. And so that's why we love Florida. That's one reason we love this place. Open carry laws. It's unbelievable. Obviously for us, again, not yet. We can't, but we definitely
In
will
the
for
future.
sure. Yeah,
No,
we
for
will
sure.
for sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
We're gonna make you guys US citizens.
Yes. We're
That's
working
it.
on
And then
it.
you're gonna vote for me.
Done.
Done.
Move to Missouri.
I'm moving to Missouri. Done.
You mentioned the DEI.
Yes,
Can you explain what that is to our listeners and also your stance on it?
of course. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is the rebranding of communism. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
We divide, we segregate, and we say, no, we're going to include these people, we're going to prioritize these people. because they're minorities, because they have a social background that is not level to the rest. So people are waking up. People are saying no to DEI, because with me, DEI, the LGBTQIA plus whatever agenda, critical race theory, ends the second I get sworn into office.
Yeah, they use it. They use it to divide people, use it to push an
But
agenda.
I think there's even with companies, there's a DEI score, right?
Victimization, yeah,
There's the
ESG
DEI
score,
Yeah,
yeah.
ESG score. That's what Patrick Bet-David talks about a lot as well. Companies kind of using that inclusivity tactic
Yes.
for the companies, and then the companies receive more funding if their score is
Based on race, because, I mean, it's called victimization. That's what it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for white guys, white men, the ones that actually build our society, and also black guys, they're the ones that pay the price.
Yeah.
Pay the price for the incompetence of other people.
Yeah.
It's
That's
true.
what it is.
It's you know, it's funny. I find when I was watching your content and you call them the rainbow bullies.
Yes, that's what they are.
I love that.
I
Took
laughed,
the words out of my
I
mouth.
laughed so hard. I laughed so hard. Talk to us about that a little bit. Just like even in terms of from the content perspective, because like we mentioned a little bit earlier, like you're vocal. You don't really care like what people think, and the content is, again, I
They
love
didn't
it.
care when they were coming for the children.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have no mercy for them either. I'm stronger. I'm faster.
Yeah.
I have all the conservative men with me.
Yes.
So what are they going to do? Whine? Fine. You can bitch all you want. I'm not going to give in to that.
What's the like? Do you ever get? You for sure get hate online. Like, there's
Yes.
no way. Like, I'm curious. People come at you in
It's
the
love.
DMs.
It's love. Deep down. Deep down, they love you.
It's
They do
amazing.
love me.
Yeah.
And they project their lack of confidence. They project their inability to do something for their lives on my comment section.
Yeah.
Sometimes I highlight them. Sometimes no. It's my decision. So go run for office. Try to beat me. You cannot.
Yeah. Let's say the tide turns and you know, Republicans are back in office, ruling. What's going to happen to a minority group like the LGBTQ?
Well, Darwinism is going to come in. They're not going to reproduce. Let's be
Yes,
honest.
yes.
A man and a man, can a man have a child? No.
Yeah.
A woman and a woman? No. Lunacy right now is dictating our lives, and we've allowed that to happen. Lunacy, crazy people, mental illness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even with having the Republicans leading in the House, in the Senate, it doesn't mean they're not corrupt.
True.
That's a problem
There's corruption on both sides,
on both sides.
right?
But you make a good point about Darwinism, how they're kind of weed themselves out because
Yeah.
they truly can't reproduce. Like they can't procreate. That's an interesting point. I never thought about it that way. But
The scary thing is they'll just adopt and then brainwash.
Those
adopt-
kids,
That's the scary thing.
to some
they
extent.
take,
we've
they
seen
take
some
that
news on that.
child away from the mother
Yeah.
whenever that child actually needs to be with his or her mother, you know? So where are the women's rights, feminism? Why are you allowing a child to be taken away from their mother
Yeah.
and giving it to two men or two women? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sad.
And what do you think about feminism in general? We've had a couple episodes on this too, where like we believe that they're trying to kind of destroy the family structure and also push women in a direction that, you know, half of them go that direction and they turn around after 10, 15 years and they say, well, why did I believe in feminism after all this time? I actually want kids or I actually want a husband or something like that. So what are your thoughts on that and the push of feminism?
So women, we were born with value. And now we're selling ourselves for $3.99 a month.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah.
We were born with gifts from God. You guys weren't.
Yeah.
Not as much as we have.
Yeah.
So $3.99 a month for your entire life? Are you kidding me?
So true.
I saw someone comment
Cycle.
on your thing, by the way. Someone commented on one of your reels like, you should just do OnlyFans. How did you take that one?
I mean, he can say all he wants. He has freedom of speech. He can post anything.
Yeah.
I think he's looking for my OnlyFans, but he's not gonna find it. He's only gonna find that AR. Yeah,
this is your
That's as
OnlyFans,
close as it's
yeah.
gonna get. And for those guys that are investing in OnlyFans, come support me. Contribute to my campaign. $3.99 a month. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Stop wasting your time on naked girls that are never gonna pay attention to you.
But why do you think so many women are going in that direction and doing OnlyFans and you know, selling, let's say, their soul in a way?
It's the easy thing. It's
Yeah.
the easy way out. That's how you become the Instagram model of the year or of the week or of somebody's hour,
True.
you know?
Yeah.
So they become lazy. They become too comfortable with profiting off their beauty or their body, but they don't realize that it's harming them. And the moral compass is out of the window.
Yeah. And do you think that, I guess, to coincide with that, like, there's been an absence of religion in a sense too?
Absolutely.
Right? As of late, I would say more so the last 5-10 years, right? So do you think that that has a big part to play in this?
Of course.
Yeah.
God is everything.
You're
He's
very religious
everything.
as well, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
I put God first in everything that I do.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been successful, because I abide by his commandments, by his statutes.
Yes.
I don't do what all these girls or all the other guys are doing. I don't party. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I do the work. And even if it takes the entire day or the entire night, I don't make excuses for it. Because if you want to be great, if you want to succeed in life, you have to make sacrifices. And those sacrifices are going to keep you away from the bad stuff.
How do you think we flip the switch on that? Because I feel like so much damage has been done in terms of, let's say, you know, women selling themselves online now, absence of religion. How do you turn that around? Is it through mainstream media?
Hopefully with role models,
Yeah.
if they see those people in a way that it is insightful, that is helpful, but that is not basically shaming them. We all make mistakes. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
You can redeem yourself. Just stop doing what you're doing. Rethink what you're doing and reach out to communities that are doing something different, that are doing good things in their lives. For example, run for office.
Yeah,
Work
just
on
switch the
yourself.
mindset. Yeah.
It's a mindset. You can have a hoe mindset or you can have a winning mindset.
Which one do you want?
Winning mindset.
In
course.
terms of, were you raised religious
Yes.
growing up?
Yes, I
Okay,
was.
so that's kind of the sort of foundation of everything. Then I'm curious, what's your opinion or what's your stance on abortion?
Abortion, well, it's a very important issue right now, and the Democrats call it the reproductive rights. But if you're smart enough to have sex with another man, you have to realize there's consequences. So those consequences have the ability to make a baby, an
Yeah.
angel.
Yeah.
When 2 go to sleep, 3 or 4 might wake up. It is that simple. And you cannot just hit quit, kill. No, you don't do that. And that's been normalized. Sadly, it has. And I understand that there's issues with mothers that are having during their pregnancy. So they might have an abortion, they might need it. When it's putting the mother's life in danger, I'm okay
Yes.
with that. That's different.
Okay.
But right now, girls just want to abort. They don't take responsibility.
Yeah.
And we have to have accountability for everything that we do. Everything.
Yeah, it's being used kind of like as another form of contraceptive,
Yeah.
I guess, right? I read some stats about it, which were pretty interesting. How abortion affects the Black community more than anybody.
We've killed more Black babies than ever before.
Yeah, it's insane that you don't hear that very often. You know, that stance doesn't make the mainstream media. That stat never makes it there. So yeah, just curious, because again, it's a very that topic seems to be attached very heavily to religion. So understanding that you grew up Catholic.
Christian Catholic.
Christian
yeah.
Catholic, yeah, okay, yeah. Usually, I just was very curious because it's always attached. But I know that's a big thing in America right now, and people are super divided over it.
Where the big thing in America should be the border, should be actually what's happening in our schools, in our elections,
Yeah,
jobs.
yeah,
Our priorities are not where they're supposed to be because we've gotten too comfortable. We want to lean into the easy things, and we don't want to face the actual reality.
Yeah. And even in terms of, the indoctrination of children, we mentioned that. How have you seen that play out, let's say in Missouri, or even just through your experiences? Because a lot of people hear about it, but they don't get to see it firsthand or hear about it firsthand as to like examples of how this is happening.
Yeah. So what I can say is that in libraries, there's books that teach kids how to mutilate themselves, what to do. That today you're a boy, tomorrow you can be a girl.
Yeah.
Same as in schools. You can identify yourself as sie, za, he, whatever. All of the words, and there's infinite genders, infinite sexes. So it is insane. We're living in a wild world. Mental illness is going to continue to go up unless we make changes. And when I become Secretary of State, all of those books are going to be removed.
Yeah.
Those books are not for children. I wouldn't even put a political book in a library for a child.
Yeah.
No, you don't touch the children. Do it with the adults. But the children, they're going to be left untouched.
Yeah. It's crazy to see the changes. Like, think about when we were, let's say, 8, 9, 10 years old.
We were
Books.
playing.
Yeah.
We were playing. We were not learning how to mutilate ourselves, how to pump hormones in our bodies.
Yeah. There's a famous book called The Gay BCs. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's called The Gay BCs.
I'm going to burn it.
Yeah, you got to find it and burn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I'm gonna
that
burn
like,
it, yeah.
I don't like you're not really against the gay community. You're just
No.
you're just against, you know,
Grooming.
Yes.
Pedophilia.
Yes.
Normalizing that.
Yeah.
You want to be gay all you want.
Yeah.
That's not my problem.
Yeah.
But the children, you're not touching them.
And the motivation.
And I don't even have children, and I'm fighting for them.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they're the seeds of hope.
Of course.
They're the ones that are going to fight for you and I when we can't.
Well, that's just generations to come,
Exactly.
right? So do you think the political motivation behind that is to groom these children so that the generations to come are already on the
Tarnished.
same page? Yeah.
They're already tarnished.
Yeah. Damn. That's
It-
scary.
In turn, you said pedophilia, and that just makes me think of Epstein right away. I'm kidding. You know what I mean? You put two and two together. I'm curious, like, in terms of the way that's all played out till this point, what are your thoughts on it? I mean, it was very, it made the mainstream media to some extent, and then we heard about the news, and then, this list was coming out, and then, he kills himself, whatever, and then Ghislaine Maxwell. And it's funny, actually, somebody said to me yesterday, Ghislaine Maxwell is the only human trafficker who trafficked to nobody. Because nobody that she
Was on the other
trafficked.
end.
Yeah, nobody was on
Nobody
the
was
other
there.
end. We have no idea who these people are. Some lists come out, they're not real. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, under this administration, I don't expect anything to be done about it.
Fair.
I don't expect
Fair.
it at all. They're going to continue to hide it, and they're going to secure that list, and they're going to secure this election by stealing it again. By stealing the votes, by sending mail-in ballots, by creating a catastrophe sometime this year that's going to set a precursor for us and our freedoms.
You say stealing. Listen, if I talk to anybody, I say 2020 was a stolen election. That's my opinion. So when you say stolen, because you're pretty much saying the same thing as me, explain to somebody who may not understand how it was stolen.
Well, Joe Biden received 81 million votes. That has never happened in history. So let's start there.
Yeah.
Also, mail-in ballots went through the roof.
Yes.
And we had an open election for over 20 days. That doesn't even happen in third world countries like Colombia, Argentina. Machines are malfunctioning. So you add 2 and 2, 3, 4 together, they don't add up.
Yeah. The election lasting longer than the one day for me was crazy. Watching, I'm going,
They made it on purpose.
how did that even happen?
They created this virus to steal the election, to put so much fear within us that we were closer than 6 feet, that 6 feet came out of Fauci's mouth. It wasn't even.
Where's Fauci now?
Yeah, Fauci's probably in Epstein Island.
He made a lot of money though.
I know.
He made a lot of
Another
money.
piece of shit.
Yep.
Crimes against humanity.
Yep.
That's what he did.
Literally.
Oh, we
Literally,
did
yeah.
episodes just on him.
Yeah.
And
the
he
past.
forgets very conveniently.
Oh yeah.
He forgets. I can't remember.
Oh
Really.
yeah.
Now you can.
There's those compilation videos of him just contradicting himself the whole time. Like, yeah, you should wear. Oh no, the mask. You got to wear this kind of mask. No, you don't need to wear that. He was doing
And
that for
they're still
years.
in power. And
Yeah.
they're still in power.
So, being an American and seeing what was happening in Canada, what did you think about Canada? Because we spoke off camera a little bit too, and I was like, yeah, I feel like Canada's like a testing ground for communism, and if it works there, then they start
It's
to.
working.
Oh, it's working.
Oh,
For
it
sure.
worked.
Working
Yeah,
That's
it
why we're
worked.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are going back. We're going to fight for Canada.
No shot. We tried.
I know.
Nobody. There was like we could have counted on both our hands the amount of people that would have fought with us. That's how
Well,
many people were speaking out.
I can tell you that when Donald Trump becomes president, he's gonna help Canada. He's
Yeah.
gonna help Canadians.
You actually said that.
I think so. Yeah.
You said that yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you will.
Joe Biden is not gonna do that.
No, he
Nikki
doesn't.
Haley's not gonna do that. Michelle Obama, if she runs, she's gonna follow the exact same path as Joe Biden.
Yep.
Yes.
So just because she's a woman, she's more likable, doesn't mean that she's gonna do the right job.
Yeah. So how confident are you that Trump wins the next election?
Well, he has the votes.
Yeah.
He has the votes. The question is, are they gonna steal the election?
And if they
And with what?
and if they steal it, let's say, is that civil war?
I cannot say if it's gonna happen or not, but I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to instigate war.
Of course.
But once we're on the verge of getting our rights stripped away, that AR is gonna get used. I know that.
I'm coming with you, eh? I'm gonna be behind you. I'll be like,
Yeah.
yo.
I'm coming to Missouri. I'm coming to your house.
Yeah, my house is a fortress. My address got published online.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Wow.
Got published online, and that's fine. Nobody comes by because they know that I'm there.
Yeah.
They know that anyone tries to step in, I'm gonna shoot them down. And if the FBI and if I'm gonna get swatted, fine, swat me all you want. Just know that I have a Shih Tzu that is very feisty. She doesn't do anything. Just don't step on her, please,
Yes.
because I'm gonna get so pissed. I'm gonna punch you.
It's crazy. I agree. I think, yeah, you never want to instigate war, but I just really hope the American people don't let, what happened in 2020 happen again. And I feel like they wouldn't. Obviously, you never know until it comes to fruition, and you hope it never does. But I could definitely see civil war in America. Because even when I look at it, I say the Army, the U.S. Army, I feel like majority of the people in the U.S. Army are Republican. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're not really around with this woke shit. Like, they don't like it, So how
And
much longer?
DEI has even entered the army.
Yeah, which is
The rainbow flag.
Yep.
So we're saying that the rainbow flag is more important than the American flag. Where is our patriotism?
Yeah.
I'm gonna burn that rainbow flag.
Yes.
That flag is not allowed anywhere near me, anywhere in
You
Missouri
would
when I
love
become Secretary
Canada.
of State.
You would love Canada. You see them everywhere.
Churches.
I'm gonna bring out
Yeah,
a
even
flamethrower.
the churches have them now.
That's the craziest thing. We were
Yeah,
talking about this not
churches
so long ago.
flying outside
The
of
churches have sold themselves.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
soon as you see that, get out of there.
Yeah.
Stop going there.
Could you imagine that a Catholic church with flying a pride flag? It's just so backwards. You're just like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
I hope their 503c status gets taken away.
Yeah,
That's all I'm gonna say.
crazy.
So when you get elected, not if, when,
That's right.
what's your first day in office look like?
First day in office. Best day. I'm gonna setting a statement for the entire nation. I'm inviting Alex Jones, Patrick David,
Yes.
and Vivek, and every single veteran across the state of Missouri to blow up all of the voting machines.
Nice.
That's what we're doing.
You can invite us too.
Okay, yeah, you guys are invited.
Welcome to-
MBH,
There we go.
money buys elections.
We have to change the name MBE.
Fuck.
Yes, please.
It's true.
I'm gonna get royalties from this.
Yes. So that's your first day?
That is
That's
correct.
that's the main thing.
Main thing.
And
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
Okay, I like
He's been
it.
right.
he's been right this whole
He's
time.
been right, and
I
he's the
know.
only one that's not corrupt.
Yeah.
And he's gonna
Yeah.
be one of my advisors as well.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask who's gonna be your advisors.
I've already notified my advisors.
Have you?
Yes, my advisors are Alex Jones, PBD, Laura Loomer, Patriot Woman, and that's the team that I'm gonna need and that are gonna have my back to make Missouri and America great again.
Yes.
And Donald Trump. Can't forget about
Of
my
course.
President Trump.
Of course.
The only one that can actually get us back on track.
Yes. What are your thoughts on Candace Owens?
Candace Owens, she's a great woman.
Yeah.
She should run for president in the coming years.
Yeah.
She would get it.
True. Would you ever run
speaks
for
facts.
president?
Well, I cannot run for president. I wasn't born in the U.S.
True.
Unless somebody changes that. We're
Yeah.
changing things nowadays.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
First Amendment, Second Amendment. We
Yeah.
can now change that.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
PBD said the same thing. He was always interested in running for president, but he wasn't born here.
Yeah.
Right? That was his thing.
Yeah.
I can become vice president. I'm okay with that.
You can be a VP?
Yeah.
True.
In terms of Trump, who do you think is gonna be his running mate? Do you think Vivek will be?
Vivek is a good man.
Yeah.
He's very vocal, articulate, intelligent, successful. I would think, and I know that Tucker Carlson is the man for the job.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Tucker? I could see him there. Hey,
I love
listen,
Tucker, bro.
I know him and Trump are very good friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean he's on the right side clearly. No pun intended.
He's
with
fighting
that
for
one.
Canada as well right now.
Yeah, he
Yes.
went to Canada.
Yeah.
The left wing just crying. They're crying. Oh, this right wing mega extremist. Why did we let him into Canada? I'm like, these people are they just
They
whine.
can cry me a river and I still won't care.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. It is so crazy. What a crazy time we found ourselves in. But Tucker
They won't
Carlson,
reproduce.
interesting.
So at least we have that going for us.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on all these wars happening? You know, Ukraine, Russia, Gaza with Israel. What are your thoughts on all that?
Well, it's all coordinated. It's a coordinated plan to strip us from our ability to defend ourselves because we're sending money overseas, we're sending our troops overseas for proxy wars, and we're leaving our country to die. That is what I think. Nobody's
to the
going to
point.
come
Yeah.
and rescue the United States of America. This republic is now in our shoulders. It's up to us to defend it.
Yeah. So let's say, you know, an average American, everyday American, how can they make change?
Well, they can make changes. First of all, stock up, get ready, get your AR in case, because it is your constitutional right. It is your Second Amendment. If you hate that, the right to bear arms, then you hate America.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And vote correctly, get involved, go to city council meetings, run for office. If an employer is saying that you cannot say certain things, expose them.
Yeah.
Expose them or message me. I'll expose them
True.
and I'll drag them down.
Yeah.
And if anything, we'll create a new company and compete against them. That's what I'm going to end up doing.
Let's play a little game.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say
We're running?
let's say I was a Biden supporter.
Okay.
I'm a liberal maniac. Convince me that I should vote Republican.
How's your life going?
It's comfortable, but you know, it could be
In this
better.
inflation?
Yeah,
Where do you live?
I don't make too much money.
Do you live in Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah. So Chicago's calling up for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So you should probably listen to your neighbors.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it. You want your life to get worse?
But scare me
Vote
some
for
more.
Biden.
Scare me some more.
I'm not gonna just look at inform yourself.
True.
I don't need to scare people anymore.
But that's the thing. A lot of the people that are on that side are not informed enough,
Or they don't want to be.
or they
informed.
live in like their own bubble, which we noticed a lot of that in Canada.
Even here as well.
Yeah.
People just vote based on optics because the name is comfortable, because the name is known, and it doesn't mean that that person has the best interest
Yeah.
for you, for the people.
But you mentioned Michelle Obama, and people keep bringing that name up. But is she gonna campaign soon? I feel like everyone's saying it, but no one has really seen. She hasn't said anything.
Well, it's gonna depend if Nikki Haley. I don't know what they're gonna do with Nikki Haley because Nikki Haley is a communist Democrat, walking and posing as a Republican because she doesn't represent us. Her funding comes from Democrat funders, Reid Hoffman. Reid Hoffman is also funding Carol, the woman who won the $83 million lawsuit against President Trump just, I would say, a day and a half ago.
Yes.
So
yes.
just track the money and then track who's funding Michelle Obama. Track who funded Barack Obama, Joe Biden. They're all connected.
Yeah.
If you don't do your due diligence, then you're not exercising your rights as an American. Then you shouldn't even be voting. Voting is the most important duty as a U.S. citizen, and only U.S. citizens,
Yeah.
not illegal immigrants, because they're going to be voting in 2024. That's a
Yeah.
fact. It's a fact. Sadly, which
Yeah.
is insane. You don't think about that happening. You can't do that in Argentina. You can't do that in France, in Canada, in Colombia, third world countries. Only here in the United States, the greatest country in the world, right? Tarnished by the communist left.
How does that work state by state, where some states require voter ID and some don't?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. How does that even
It's
work?
crazy that you can walk up to a polling center, station, whatever, and place a vote without an ID.
So you could just like change your outfit and then go in the next day again.
I guess so. Mailing ballots too.
So
Just
mail-in
send your
ballots, you don't
and
need.
a lot of dead people are resuscitated.
Yeah,
in
we
2020.
we heard
Every
about
4
we heard-
years
that was
we
crazy.
see a resuscitation
Yes.
of people.
Just dead people
I'm like,
voting.
is my grandma gonna?
I wonder who she voted for. Yeah.
Because she's in Colombia. But
Yeah, that was a real
yeah.
thing. Dead people were voting last time around.
Yeah,
I
And
think
it's gonna
even
happen this year again
yeah,
because secretaries of states are also compromised.
yeah,
A lot of them are purchased. A lot of them are only vocal to remove Donald Trump from the ballot. Even Missouri Secretary of State, useless. I have no mercy for weak people.
yeah,
No, because they're the ones that have put us in this situation today. Intentional decisions got us here, but also intentional decisions can get us out.
yeah,
And that starts with people voting, with people making sure that we can actually have somebody leading, and that person is going to guarantee election transparency, election integrity.
yeah.
In terms of Nikki Haley, quickly, I want to ask you. We spoke about it off camera, and you mentioned her now. You have this clip on Instagram where you kind of confront her, and things just kind of got sticky. So I want to know, A, what you asked her, what you said to her, and then B, what happened after they kick you guys out of the room, or like what happened there?
Yes, so this was in Iowa on one of her presidential events for the caucus, before the caucus, and I went to see Nikki Haley because I am a concerned citizen. I am exercising my First Amendment right, and I wanted to ask her a question, just like I went to Vivek, just like I have gone to Donald Trump, and just like I did and I tried to do with Nikki Haley. It didn't work out, but that's okay. And in that event, she didn't answer any questions. She just closed out after her speech, and they increased the volume so high that people can't even say anything.
Wow.
So only pictures, and it was very restricted. So of course, I'm gonna go in, pose for a picture, also ask a question or two, and have my brother record it. What ended up happening is that she said, "Hey, how are you? I have a question for you." I said that to her. And I asked her, "Are you going to release your client list from your military defense company?" And she didn't even answer because I got kicked out. My brother and I, who's in the National Guard, got kicked out of the event.
Yeah.
And that made headlines in Valuetainment, Twitter, a bunch of Instagram pages, and people realized that she's a walking communist, a corrupt walking communist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I saw it, but they acted quick. They got you guys quick.
They know.
They got you
They
guys
know.
very quickly. I think I seen you kind of lean in to ask her a question, and within seconds it was security.
You
and I'm
can't
like,
take video,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
only pictures, and they would grab the phone from you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So dictatorship style.
Yeah.
If you want to support Nikki Haley, she couldn't even answer unscripted questions. How is she going to face dictatorship? How is she going to face dictator from North Korea?
Yeah. It's true.
Or even Trudeau?
yeah.
you know?
Dictator of Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, it's interesting, and I feel like that just shows the kind of person they are. What do you mean, no questions? Like you're running to be the candidate of the Republican Party. You can't let people ask you questions.
You have to be able to answer everything.
Of course.
If you're running for office, you're opening yourself up to the public.
Yeah.
Correct.
To absolutely everything.
Yes.
Me, same thing. People can ask me questions. They can message me. They can post whatever they want. When I go to the events, I make time for Q&A.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
That's our duty. I'm not trying to be a politician. I'm not trying to be something greater than people make it to be. I'm trying to be an elected public servant. And we have sensationalized this title. We have made it so I would say fashionably corrupt. And that's why I'm running.
See, but you said a word that I feel like is not said enough or hasn't been said enough. Is public servant. I think people forget that through our tax dollars, we are funding these people's positions, their jobs.
Yeah.
Therefore, they serve us. Where I feel like the sort of the idea is that almost we serve our government, which is so backwards. It's supposed to be there for us.
They made it out to be that way. And it is our fault as well because we fell asleep.
Yeah.
Because we got comfortable.
Yeah.
And now we're paying the price for that.
Correct.
Now they think they can own us forever, that we answer to them and they don't answer to us.
Correct. That for me, I think, is the biggest misconception that I feel like people need to wake up
And
about.
the entitlement
Yeah.
is wild.
Yeah.
That's
Very
why I have
wild.
no mercy for any of these guys or ladies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Women can still be corrupt.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
call them out.
Do you think that there's another pandemic coming this year?
Yes, sadly.
Sadly.
I'm gonna cough on everyone's faces.
You're gonna wear a mask or what?
No, do not comply.
Yeah.
Do not comply.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened in 2020. We have to wake up. There's sleeping lions right now. These lions have to wake up because our republic is in danger.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Stop being afraid. Stop subscribing to OnlyFans. Start doing something for your lives, for this country, for
Yeah.
the future generations.
Yeah.
History's gonna look back at us and are either gonna call us a disgrace or warriors.
Yeah. It's one or the other.
Right now it's disgrace. Right now.
Disgrace.
Right now it's disgrace.
Currently, yes.
Right. We got some rapid fire questions, unless you want to.
Yeah. No. Go for it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Where would you say the best state to live in?
Missouri,
Okay, done. Where would you say the worst state to live in is right now?
New York.
Okay, I was gonna say
Trump or Biden?
Trump all the way.
Trump or DeSantis?
Trump.
Okay.
How many genders are there?
2.
That's it.
Only 2.
Promise.
And to the liberals, 2.
Yes.
What are your pronouns?
No pronouns. USA.
There we go. I like that. What was the best policy that Trump passed during his time in office?
Fracking.
And what was the best policy Biden passed during his time in office?
No comment.
There's none. Should people be able to legally own a gun?
Yes.
And who is your favorite political figure in history?
In history, Thomas Jefferson. He wrote the Declaration of Independence.
Is there someone in politics that you look up to that you would wanna mimic in many ways?
Donald Trump. The most respected and feared man on earth.
Yeah.
Look at what's happening to him. Political persecution. Left and right, and he continues to persevere.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't tell you who he is, then get ready.
It's true.
Because it's a wake-up call.
Do you think he's the best president of all time?
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
I was having this debate with somebody.
Do you think
I
they would
agree.
do you think they would assassinate Trump?
He's in danger every single day.
You think so?
I believe so. And I believe that every single conservative voice that is being outspoken, that is going against the narrative of what they want us to say, is also in danger.
Wow.
And we're being called extremists.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for them.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to say.
Valentina, wow.
Tell look behind us.
Yeah.
If there's anyone ready,
I hope you guys are watching this episode and not listening, because you're gonna have a laugh. Appreciate your time, Valentina.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Wish
of
you the
course.
best of luck.
yes.
All right. If you're from the state of Missouri, you know who to vote for.
Yep.
And that's all I gotta say. We'll probably have you back for a part 2 once you win.
Part 2. That is correct.
Okay. And
I'll
we
have
could-
you guys in Missouri.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We gotta come
host
check it out.
100% need to
Shoot
come.
some guns.
Yes.
Please.
I'm
please.
ready.
Dying
Pull up
to.
some voting machines, expose all of those corrupt politicians,
Yep.
and have no mercy for them. Guys, wake
You
up.
gotta get some merchandise. No, I think you need
Coming
some
up.
merch.
Yes.
There we
Yes.
go.
Okay.
There
We
we
Coming
need it.
up.
We need it. We gotta
Yeah.
rock it.
All right, guys.
And for your merchandise, money buys elections.
We should do a little theme.
2024,
We
yeah.
should do a 2024.
I'll rock it. I'll
Yeah.
rock
Money
it
buys
for you.
elections.
Closer to
That would go
November.
hard.
Yeah.
All
Done
right.
deal.
I'm down.
Valentina, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
It's an
Appreciate
amazing
it.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Guys, if you
Thanks.
made it this far, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. Like this video, leave a comment. If you're listening, 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. We love you. Thank you so much. Jay,